welcome to This is Taiwan Live. And today's episode, as you can see, is very special right here. But before we get into that, we're gonna, give our guest here a little bit time to say hi to you. Okay, as usual. Okay, my favorite friend Mark, why don't you say hi to everybody?
Hi everybody, happy to be here again to help my friend Dr. Max Lo with this episode.
Okay, and on my right hand side, the beautiful lady right here, Miss Roxy Wang, our special guest. So why don't you take a little bit time and then say hi to everybody.
Hello everyone.
Okay, well, Roxy's a little bit nervous, but don't worry, we'll get her talking. Okay, so Mark, for this episode, I think we have done some homework, huh?
We have, yeah. Obviously, as you can see from the table, we have some authentic puppets from the Taiwan puppet shows that we see throughout this island.
Oh yeah. Okay, so, well, I mean, it's our honor and privilege that we have Miss Roxy with us, Roxy here today. So Roxy, you want to take a little bit time to introduce a little bit about yourself?
Hello everyone, my name is Roxy and this is my family business. I've been doing this since I was 8 years old. So it's my honor to be here to tell you a bit more about Taiwanese globe puppets today.
Okay, so 8 years old, don't worry, I'm not going to ask her how old she is, but just so you know that she has been doing this for a long time, and then her family business, and then she is a master in this. Okay, so before we ask you more questions, would you please introduce our two guests right here, because we don't know who they are.
Well, this one is the groom, and it symbolizes reunion in puppet shows usually.
How do you call this god in Chinese?
This is not a god, this is a groom.
A groom?
Yes.
So how do you say that in Chinese? The name or?
Does he have a special name, or is
Yes.
just a general groom, or is he a special groom?
He's just one of the angbodui.
Angbo-
The couple. Angbodui.
Angbodui.
Yeah, they're the couples.
Okay,
and he's the
Angbodui. That's
main one.
Taiwanese. That's Taiwanese.
Yeah.
Okay. So what about?
It's like everything else in life. The groom is just kind of second fiddle, not
Yes.
that important. It's just
Not
part,
that important.
just part of the show.
Part of the
Yes.
show. So
And
what about
one
this
is
guy here?
Fu Xian. Fu Xian from Fu Lu Shou.
Fu Lu Shou. Fu
Yes.
Xian. So Fu, as we know, it means fortune, or it
Yes.
means luck, right?
Yes.
The god of fortune, the god of luck, or
Yes.
god of wealth.
Yes.
Okay, well, thank you very much for bringing these two gods joining us in our shows. I guess our show is blessed.
I have to admit, I had zero insight, zero idea of what was involved in the puppet shows. As a foreigner, driving around the countryside and seeing different things, we come across these puppet shows that are loud and colorful, and we have no idea why they are there and who they are for. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Sure.
The purpose behind the puppet show. So we did speak with Roxy's father, who is a master. But maybe Roxy, you can tell us a little bit, what is the purpose of these puppet shows?
So in Taiwan, it's generally for Taoism temples.
Mm-hmm.
It's a show for gods to entertain the gods to celebrate their birthday or anniversary of temples or any event. And it's also for the people to show their appreciation to the gods.
So the shows are primarily for the gods, but if any passerby, any temple goers, or just anyone in the community, they can sit there and watch the show for entertainment, but it's primarily to say thanks to the gods.
Yes.
Okay.
So people, we as, how do you call that? Mortals, we can watch too, right? We can join the gods and watch the show.
Yes.
Okay, I see.
So who commissions these shows, or who requests that these shows happen? Because are the gods asking the puppet makers to come put these shows on? Who's asking for these shows to happen?
Usually it's the temple managers, they would hire us, or it's the believers. If they went to temples and they make a wish and then it comes true, then in a way of saying thank you to the gods, they can hire us to put on a show in front of the temple.
So what you're saying is the more successful that a temple is, that would be, I would assume, the more that they want to say thanks, the more puppet shows they give, the more publicity their temple gets.
Right.
The more people they get, it just kind of, it grows the atmosphere and
Yeah.
the attendance at the temple. Is
Yes.
that kind of
Yeah.
the reason behind it? Yeah.
Putting
Yeah.
on puppet show is also a way to kind of show off. I see my temple's got a lot of money, we got a lot of believers.
Okay. Okay. So that means like one of the purpose of this puppet show, or like throwing these puppet show parties for gods, for the villagers or peoples, is kind of like, you know, that you can keep the gods amused. Okay, keep pleasing them, making them happy, so they can continue to, you know, showing their power to people, granting wishes. Okay, so and then once your wishes are how do you call that? Once your wishes come true, your dream come true, and then you will have to return favors.
Yes,
And then this is one of the way to say thank you to God. Okay,
yes,
so you have to do this. If you don't say thank you to God, that's not good in Taiwanese culture, isn't it? You promise God something, and then God, you know, kind of gave you that, and then you don't have anything returned. That would be a big no-no in Taiwanese culture.
Also, it will make us feel more confident. Like
Right.
if I request something from God, and I offer him something great in the end,
Mhm.
then he's more likely, or
Right.
she is more likely to help me out.
Right, right. So we'll feel more blessed. Okay.
Yes.
So we'll feel more blessed, and then we'll have this peaceful mindset.
Yes.
It's an interesting comparison to some Western religions, where when you ask for something from a god, usually you're giving something up. It's more of a hardship on you. But this is more like, you help me and I will do something nice for you. I will help you, right?
Yeah, scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, something like that.
Yeah.
So okay, so Mark, you just mentioned that in Western culture, if you ask God for something, you have to give up something. What do you mean by that?
I guess I'm looking more at more like a sacrifice. There's sacrifices to
I
be
see.
given, right? But this doesn't seem like much of a sacrifice. It's both very joyous stuff, right? You
Right.
help me and I'll put on a puppet show for you.
Right.
It has a much livelier feeling.
Okay, okay. Yeah, for the one thing in common here is all that we want to make sure we show respect to gods or to the supernatural power. Okay. So Mark, I got a question for you. Okay.
Yeah.
You're from Canada. Okay. When you were a kid or in North America, do you have anything like this puppet?
That was what sparked my curiosity before, because in North America, when you see puppets, it's associated with children.
Right.
And someone is putting on a show for children.
That's Sesame Street.
It's entertainment. It's Sesame Street, or it's maybe in the parks in the summer, or and most of the puppets that we see, if they're outdoor entertainment, they're on strings.
Oh,
Right?
like doing
Marionettes.
like
Yeah,
this.
they're marionettes, right? Well, this is a completely different style of puppet show.
Indeed. Indeed.
And but it's quite interesting. You had mentioned that the purpose of this is to say thanks to the gods. We asked your father, like, how did it start to get big? And he mentioned something to me I thought was very interesting, was he talked about the lottery.
Right.
Now, when the lottery, he said, became popular in Taiwan, well, then people went to the temples because they wanted information on how to win the lottery. Give me a lucky number, give me something. People were looking for luck. And so that, if somebody won, well, they went back to that temple. It just grew because people saw
Right.
that as a channel for them to win the lottery. Can you comment on that? Am I getting that correct from what your dad said?
Yes, that's right, and it has made puppet business much more prosperous, much more active since this underground bank, underground lottery.
Underground lottery, yeah.
Underground. Okay, so for our viewers and for our listeners and viewers who mentioned right here, Mark talking about lottery here is underground. Back in the old days. Okay.
Yeah, and usually lotteries are introduced in a culture because they want to increase people's feeling of excitement and generate some revenue. So maybe at a time when the Taiwanese people were feeling low, you have this underground lottery. It gives people an opportunity to feel hopeful for something.
Right. Well,
Right, and the temples help with that feeling. your father mentioned something really funny. He said it became so popular that people were coming to him because they knew he was a puppet master and saying, hey, you know, you're a puppet master. You're in touch with the gods. What do you got? Can you help us out?
Right.
Can you relate a story about that? Has he told you about that?
I didn't know about this.
Well, he was saying that because he does the puppet show, right? So they think he's that one step closer to the gods.
Oh.
And he's like, hey, maybe I can.
Did you get any special
any
message?
special numbers or whatever? Or can you? You know, he was even saying, you know, that maybe that tree is lucky. Do you have a special rock? Everyone was looking for their good luck charm through your dad.
Yeah.
So he became quite
like a
popular,
like a sidekick or something.
Well, he became quite popular, and he said to us that he didn't do it. He didn't play the lottery.
Yes.
He was there to do the show. He was not going to go to that side.
Right.
Yeah,
So.
people ask us like, you've been to so many temples, which one is the best one? You know, like
The most powerful one,
yeah.
right?
But funny enough, my dad never does this lottery thing.
I think you guys missed out on a really good business opportunity. I mean, if your dad, I mean, obviously he didn't do that, right? And that's, you know, I will say that right now that obviously I don't know your father very well, but from the time we spent with him, he seems like a very, very honorable guy. Like he loves his craft. He's doing it for the absolute pleasure of doing this, and the trying to continue this culture. Like he's keeping this alive. It's fantastic to see.
Right. I mean, we see when we interview Mr. Wang, Roxy's father, we can sense that sense of pride and then that passion he has toward this culture. Because for a lot of youngsters right now, this traditional Taiwanese puppy is like a lost art. Because people basically, we see temple hosting this puppet show, but we just walk by, we simply ignore it. Because for us, it's for God, it's probably for some religious ceremony.
Yeah.
So we don't really pay attention to that. For us, we're taking it for granted. But for Mark, I mean, in a foreigner's perspective, this is something really new because they are very loud. And then you see neon lights, a special truck. Okay, but before we dig in a little bit more about Roxy's family puppet show history, in our interview with Mr. Wang, he did talk about the underground lottery, because I'm going to add on a little bit historical information about that. Because in 1970s and 80s, that's the time the economy in Taiwan was taking off.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people, a lot of factories or small, medium-sized business owners are making money. Okay, a lot of time, as you can recall, when you were little, a lot of products were made in Taiwan, MIT back in time. So Taiwanese people was getting richer and richer. So a lot of times, this kind of underground lottery, you know, if you have more money, it's only natural you want to make more money. Yeah. So this become a shortcut for people to make more money, because back in the time we don't have a legal lottery then. So this was like, you know, this illegal underground lottery become popular. So people, if you have this, and then people start to become more and more superstitious. So like Roxy said, then people will go to, you know, the puppet show master. Hey, since you guys traveling around the temples, hey, which god is the most powerful one? Hey, I mean, have you ever dreamed about God sending message to you, like telling you any numbers in the dream? Or like if you go to that tree in that temple, if you take that tree from that certain angle, you're going to see certain number, like a number of 9. Hey, make sure you sign that number tonight, and then God knows you might win the money. So I mean, but like you said, like Roxy said, Roxy's father insisted he was staying away from gambling. He said, "This is my family's business. This is about ours. I don't want anything to do with gambling. I don't want anything to do with."
But he could have.
He could have.
He could have easily capitalized on this, right? Easily. You know, it's no different today than what I would expect. You know, modern day sports gambling, sports betting, right. Where, you know, I know a friend who knows a friend who plays on this team. Hey, how are you feeling tonight? Can you give us some information on, you know, what, you know, as your team, are their guys feeling good? Like, they want inside information. And Roxy's dad could have manufactured any inside information he wanted. Like you said, I saw a shadow here that looked like the number 7. I think number 7 is going to be lucky.
Right. People will buy that for sure.
If he had wanted to, he could have. And what I was trying to say is before, he didn't, and he didn't, and that just, it came out in everything he said that he's doing this for the love of the culture and keeping this alive. So.
Yep.